One assignment, I tell you that, really interested me. I wanted to update the file on Jimmy Hoffa. Newsweek magazine also says, he's going to run for president. We want to update the file. The Free Press want to update the file too. So I called Jimmy Hoffa. I knew Jimmy Hoffa very well. And I called him and said, I'd like to get some pictures of you, candid shots. And he says, fine. He lived on Lake Orion. So I went there, I think 8 o'clock in the morning. I said, I'll get you before you go out. So I got there, he was on the phone talking and everything else. He got through the phone, he says, I don't know, just talking, something he said to his wife or something, that he had to go to lunch or something. I don't remember for sure, but he talked something like that. Then he came to me, he said, Tony, where do you want to take the picture? I said, it's a nice day. Let's do it outside. Had a bench out there. I said, fine. So I went out there, took a whole series of pictures of him outside, a couple rolls, came back to the paper, and I didn't even develop the pictures that day. I did develop them later on. I made a set of prints for Newsweek, who wanted some. Made some for the paper, but they weren't going to use them. Update the file. Jimmy Hoffa was running. 3 days later, wife said that Jimmy Hoffa is not coming home. He's missing, and not we want to know where he is, because sometimes he'd go out and not come back for a day or two. And that's when it came through, and we got the word that Jimmy Hoffa is missing and disappeared. No one knew where he was or what happened. Right away, we ran some pictures. Newsweek ran the picture on the cover of their magazine. These were the last pictures taken of Jimmy Hoffa, taken the morning of the afternoon day he disappeared.
And you were one of the last public figures to see
him.
Yeah,
the FBI came. They wanted prints and everything else. His clothing, what he has, he was missing the same clothing that he had. So those pictures were all became used and used and used again when he just made this movie on Jimmy Hoffa a couple of years ago. The Los Angeles Times and the Danny DeVito, who produced the picture, called me personally over here at the phone, wanted a set of pictures so they could see for the makeup or how the habits Jimmy Hoffa. So I sent Danny DeVito a whole set of prints, and the LA Times ran a whole page. They wanted pictures, and the wire service wanted prints, so I let them have the pictures, so did we. So the pictures became very handy. A lot of books were written about Jimmy Hoffa, and they used all the pictures I had of him.
Did he seem preoccupied that morning that you took those photographs?
No, he seemed very happy, very, Jimmy Hoffa, how he was forceful. He was really thought he was going to be elected, get to be elected president. I think he would.
President of the
Teamsters. Of Teamsters.
Teamsters, yes.
Yeah, I'm almost certain that he had that feeling, because this was at the stage that he was. I know a lot of people have called me, and I was on all these TV programs and on a network program. When they came, I want to know what happened to Jimmy Hoffa. They come and interview me on these special shows that you would have. Come from New York, they brought a crew in. So we went where he was, and I had some of the prints. They asked me, what do you think happened to him? Well, if I knew, I says, if I knew what happened to him, I wouldn't be here today. I tell him, because I really don't know, because he didn't say what he was going to do. But they're all speculations and things that they have. That could have been an inside job from the Teamsters, could have been another connection that people didn't want him around. They didn't want him to be president. I think
there were two other
Frank
people,
Fitzsimmons. You see, the only thing you have to look at this thing on Jimmy Hoffa, that when Jimmy went to jail, he turned over his presidency to Frank Fitzsimmons and said, when I get out, I want my job back. So when he got out of jail, Frank Simmons says, no, you're not getting. You are now a felon. You've been in jail. You're not going to get the job back. So they became bitter enemies at the time because then he had to fight Frank Fitzsimmons. So I don't know how all this came about. He's missing still to this day. He could be alive, could be dead, no one knows. But my pictures still have the record of Jimmy Hoffa.